Imagine a world where, like, your emotions are being kind of nudged, towards this collective harmony.
Mm.
Sounds like utopian, right?
Yeah.
But what if that harmony comes at the cost of like individual expression?
Ooh.
And that's kind of the unsettling future we're diving into today. Exploring this speculative artifact called Echoes of the Swarm.
Right.
So imagine like vibrant Senegalese markets,
Okay.
but instead of the usual, lively chatter and like, the back and forth, there's this hushed, almost eerie kind of sense of conformity.
Yeah, so this artifact is it's a familiar gris amulet, but with some very peculiar modifications.
Hmm.
It kind of throws us into a near future Senegal where emotion AI has become like the norm.
Yeah.
Like a gris, like it's a traditional West African amulet, often used for like protection or luck.
Right.
But in this future, it takes on a whole new meaning.
And the project description talks about how, these markets are still visually stunning, like full of these colorful fabrics.
Yeah.
But even those seem to follow some kind of like algorithm-driven trend.
Hmm.
It's like individual expression has been sacrificed for the sake of collective well-being.
And that's where this deep dive gets it's really interesting,
Right.
the project details like highlight this underlying tension,
Hmm.
like a sense of unease
Right.
beneath the surface harmony.
Right.
Is this utopia or is this like a dystopia in disguise?
Right.
Are we as a society willing to trade our individual voices for the promise of peace and stability?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting.
It's a really interesting question. What's fascinating to me is like how this artifact doesn't shy away from like the potential, downsides of this seemingly utopian future.
Right.
I mean, like, think about it. If our emotions are like constantly being nudged towards this, conformity,
Hmm.
what happens to like, creativity,
Yeah.
dissent,
Right.
even just the simple joy of like experiencing a full range of human emotion?
It's almost like this emotion AI is acting as like a kind of invisible hand,
Right.
shaping our feelings and behaviors in ways we might not even be aware of.
Yeah.
And the project details suggest that like this is all done in the name of progress, right?
Right.
Of creating a more harmonious and efficient society,
Yeah.
but at what cost?
Right. And that's where the creator of this artifact, this fictional AI designer, NDI 7659,
Mm.
really pushes us to think critically, that describe their process as blending cognitive science with with demographics and cultural symbols
Right.
to create these messages from tomorrow.
Interesting.
It's not just about technology, but how that technology interacts with our cultural values and beliefs.
So you're saying that these artifacts aren't they're not meant to be like predictions of the future,
Right.
but rather like provocations to get us thinking about the choices we're making right now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
NDI 7659 challenges us to like, decode the potential meanings within these speculative creations. It's like holding up a mirror to our present and asking,
Oh.
are we sleepwalking into a future where convenience and conformity trump individuality?
So it's not necessarily about like rejecting technology altogether,
Right.
but rather being more conscious of its influence on our lives.
Yeah,
And making sure we're using it in a way that aligns with our values.
precisely. Yeah, this isn't a warning against like, technological advancement,
Right.
but a call for like conscious evolution.
Hmm.
It's about recognizing that even well-intentioned technologies
Right.
can have unintended consequences,
Yeah.
especially when they start to shape something as fundamental as our emotions.
It really makes you think, huh?
Yeah.
This whole Echoes of the Swarm project, like what aspects of our humanity
Mm.
might we be like willing to sacrifice in the pursuit of a perfectly harmonious society?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It
Yeah.
makes me think of like those those classic sci-fi stories
Yeah.
where everything on the surface seems so perfect, but like underneath there's
Right.
this dark undercurrent of like control and oppression.
Right. Right.
And I think Echoes of the Swarm brings that kind of scenario to life in a way that's
Right.
um it's both unsettling but like incredibly thought-provoking.
And this whole idea of like emotion AI, right?
Yeah.
Subtly nudging us toward conformity.
Mm,
It makes you wonder where do we draw the line?
right.
Who gets to decide what constitutes well-being for everyone?
Well, NIA 7659 doesn't really give us like, the easy answers here.
Right.
But they do give us a really powerful framework for understanding
Okay.
like this complex interplay between technology, culture, and individual agency.
Hmm.
It's like these speculative artifacts are this like a call to action,
Hmm.
urging us to be more mindful of the forces that are shaping our world and to like
Right.
actively participate in shaping the future we want to see.
So what can we do?
Yeah,
How do we ensure that technology is serving us,
right.
rather than the other way around?
It starts with awareness, right?
Yeah.
And we need to like recognize the subtle ways in which technology is already
Right.
influencing our emotions and our behaviors. Like
Uh,
think about
yeah.
how social media algorithms curate our news feeds, or how
Right.
personalized advertising targets our desires.
Right.
And I think once we see these influences,
Yeah.
then we can start to like question them, challenge them,
Right.
and make more conscious choices about how we interact with technology.
So it sounds like Echoes of the Swarm is ultimately a reminder that the future isn't
Right.
it isn't something that just like happens to us. It's something that we
Yeah.
create through our choices,
Right.
our actions,
Right.
our conversation.
Yeah, exactly. The more we,
Hmm.
engage in these kinds of critical discussions,
Right.
the more likely we are to create a future where technology enhances
Right.
our humanity rather than diminishing it.
Well, I think NDI 7659 has given us a lot to think about, a lot to chew on with Echoes of the Swarm.
Yeah, a lot to unpack there.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of speculative design.
Absolutely.
We hope you found it insightful and thought-provoking.
Yeah.
And don't forget to share this with your friends.
Yes.
Keep those conversations going because the future is a collaborative project.
It really is.
FT